on, who was I?
I'm going to show you who I am. Jeremiah 3 and 15. I'm going to show you exactly who we are.
Shall not
wear
that which pertaineth unto a man.
What am I having on that isn't pertaining to a man? This is my undergarment. You see how I'm dressed? You see how I'm dressed? None of my body parts is showing.
The woman!
The what?
You see
The
how I'm
woman!
dressed?
What?
Shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So here's a revelation for you. Read this.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
So the Lord is going to come with fire. You say your name is Fire.
Yes.
That's your birth name.
Yes.
Or that's just what they call you.
My name is Fire.
Okay, so read that again.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
Hypocrites! 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 Glory be to the Most High! You're the hypocrites! Stop sucking! You're cannibalizing a woman's flesh! You're sucking bodily secretions from a woman's flesh! Stop pushing your in a woman's mouth! Abomination! Abomination! And that's why the city's going down! Abomination!
So, what's your name, first of all, sis?
My name is Fire.
Fire?
Yeah.
Fire, okay.
Yes.
I'm John Leal. All right. So
Nice to
here's
meet
the
you.
revelation. Nice to meet you, sis. Get Isaiah 66. You know what I want. So this is the revelation, because this is what's going to happen. Yes, we are in the last days, and our people have to wake up. What we're out here to do is teach our people who they are according to the
But that's
Bible.
not teaching.
Hold on. We're just out here to teach our people who they are according to the Bible,
Right.
and to make sure they understand what's required of them in the last days, because when Christ or Yahushua returns,
Right.
there's going to be a retribution for those who are not keeping his commandments.
Right.
So here's a revelation for you. Read this.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
So the Lord is going to come with fire. You say your name is Fire.
Yes.
That's your birth name.
Yes.
Or that's just what they call you.
My name is Fire.
Okay, so read that again.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
So the Lord is going to come with fire. He's going to come with fire. Read.
And with his chariots like a whirlwind.
And with his chariots, because what they call UFOs, those are the chariots of the Lord. He's going to return with those. I'm giving, you asked for the revelation,
Okay,
I'm going to give it to you. Read.
To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
So Christ, when he come back, is not going to be hugs and kisses. It's not going to be rainbows and all that. He's coming back on this earth to give retribution to those who didn't keep his laws. Read.
For by fire and by his sword.
By fire and by what?
His sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
So that's how the Lord is going to plead with all flesh, by fire and by his sword when he returns. So there's going to be destruction that comes here to Babylon the Great, a.k.a. the United States of America. Now what's going to happen is we're trying to teach our brothers and sisters how to avoid getting caught up in that fire or that flame, because right now is the time for us to rehearse the righteous acts. Give me that, Judges 5 and 11.
When you say rehearse the righteous acts, you're saying now it's time for repentance.
Right, it's time for repentance, but it's time for us to start practicing keeping God's commandments. Because there's going to be a time when Christ returns, and then the time that we have to practice is over. He said, I give you, this is our grace period. This is the time for us to get things right now and start rehearsing those things. So let me read that.
So based on the sign that he's giving, because I follow prophecy.
Yeah.
And that's why I come to ask you all the questions.
So that's one prophecy that's given, right?
Based on the sign that is given.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that something is going to happen on the 8th, but based on the sign that I'm following, I mean the prophecy that I'm following, and the signs that I'm seeing in the sky is telling me that something could happen within 40 days from that sign, because Nineveh was a city that Jonah was supposed to go on, and they had like 40 days grace period,
remember what the scripture said, no man knows the day or the hour. But we know that. So
I'm not thinking about when Christ is going to come, because I can't determine that.
We have to watch and pray. And when you see certain things happen, give me wars and rumors of wars. Give me Matthew 24 real quick. So yes, there are certain things that are happening in the earth that the Lord is allowing to happen that, yes, we have to pay attention to. It's like birth pains. When a woman is getting ready to give birth, the contractions start coming quicker and shorter. She know, okay, the time of my birth is near. By watching these signs, we know, okay, the time of Yahushua or Christ's return is getting closer and closer. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars.
And you shall hear of wars, read.
And rumors of wars.
And rumors of wars, keep reading.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
So wars, rumors of wars, troubles, pestilences, all these things must come to pass, which is, anything else on that? Give me more.
But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation.
So we see these things happening, right? Nation rising against nation, read.
And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences.
So famines and pestilences. COVID-19 was a pestilence.
Right.
There's going to be another one that comes, right?
COVID-19 come after the 2017 eclipse. So that's why I'm asking you, given prophecy, because I follow prophecy and I try to prophecy. So what I'm saying is,
but what we're showing you, sis, only thing we're showing you're trying to get specific and line up dates and times.
No,
Christ didn't give us that.
No.
We gotta follow what we see happening in the earth as He said it's going to happen, and then we know
back to Jonah. When we go back to Jonah, to the city of Nineveh.
Finish reading that.
There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
So all these things are going to happen, right? Earthquake in Taiwan the other day just destroyed damn near half the city. These things are just going to continue to happen. Now give me what I had, Judges 5 and 11. But here's the important thing. The important thing for us to do when we see these things happening is to start rehearsing the righteous acts. We have to be keeping the commandments, because if you want eternal life, you want eternal life?
Of course, everybody. Well, I know for me personally. Well, let me give you a little bit.
I'm asking you a question.
Of course I do.
Okay, so read that.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 11. That they are delivered from the noise of archers.
Read it right.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
So it says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers. How you doing, my brother? All right, what we going over is what we supposed to do in these last days. So she was asking about, hey, the times of the signs of the times and the prophecies of what's supposed to happen and what we're supposed to do in order to prepare ourselves so we don't get caught up in that destruction. Because when Christ returns, He's coming back with fire to destroy the earth. So this is what God said. Read that again.
Verse 11, that they are delivered from the noise of archers.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers. So these 12 on this side right here, the 12 tribes of Israel, are going to be delivered if they do this.
And the places of drawing water.
The places of drawing water is the places where we have been in our captivity. Because when you send someone to draw water, you usually gave that to a slave, that assignment. Read.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
So here is where we have to rehearse the righteous acts. For example, let's just put it on a carnal level. If someone is playing a musical instrument and they got a big performance, but they didn't practice all week, how do you think they're going to do when it's time for them to hit that stage?
Which is basic elementary.
Exactly. So that's it. So basic elementary is the things that we have to do here. So what my brother was trying to show you,
he cannot show me anything. You have to have first of all,
hold on, sis. What my brother was trying to show you is that yes, there are laws for men and there are laws for women.
His act is not godly.
Everything that we do, we have to be accounted for in that day. So give
but
me
you know that first
Romans
you got to
7.
clean your vessel before you're trying to clean the outside of your vessel. He needs to clean the inside of his vessel because he's too argumentative. You cannot try to argue with everybody that comes to ask you a question.
But right now, sis, what we're trying to do is show you that we have to keep God's laws. And this is the basis
which I already know that. All right,
Okay.
let me tell you something.
So let me ask you this.
This that you are saying God is
All right,
black and all
Romans
of that.
7.
I grew up knowing
The
these
book of
things.
Romans,
I am a
chapter
Jamaican.
7, verse
We
12.
you listen to the
Wherefore,
songs that we
the
sing,
law
we
is
sing all
holy.
these things. So I know about
What do you
these
say?
things.
Now listen to this, sis. Read.
Romans chapter 7, verse 12. Wherefore, the law is holy.
So God said the law is holy. That means all the law, not just certain laws that we pick and choose.
All the law.
All the law
I
is
know
holy.
that.
Read.
And the commandment holy and just and good.
Now give me Deuteronomy 10 and verse 12. So we know the law. If we know the law is
I'm trying
holy,
to get to ask
and
you a
we know,
question. I'm not-
right? But sis, I answered your question.
But I
Christ
didn't
is
answer. I have a few
returning.
questions to
Then we have signs of the times that are coming. We have to keep.
You're
the
talking about the
commandments. We
law,
have to
right? You keep
rehearse
talking about the
righteous
laws
acts.
and the
right,
laws.
'cause
But
that's
do
the
you all
only
follow
thing.
the laws?
That's the only thing that's going to get us
Do
eternal
you all
life.
follow the laws?
Yes, we do.
So why are you?
Yes, we
Because
do.
I've heard guys, you know, I wasn't in front of y'all, but I heard
Right.
you on the internet talking about man could have more than one wife when the Bible specifically
We
said.
don't teach men to have more than one wife.
So,
we don't teach
because
that.
I've heard guys, like I said, I
There are
wasn't in
many
front
other
of y'all.
Israelite groups and camps. We are not all the same. We
Okay,
teach
but
thus
I
saith
heard
the
them
Lord.
say that when the Bible
But we
specifically
don't teach
say
that.
one,
Christ said one wife.
and they use
that's what we
Isaiah to
teach.
justify it.
But we don't teach that.
Okay.
So give me what I just said. Read Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So you said that you were from the tribe of Benjamin. You
Yes,
know
I
that
am.
already,
Yes.
right? So you know you're an Israelite.
I
so
know
that,
who I
so
am.
that,
I'm
so
a
the question,
Yisraelite.
so the question,
I don't
and
use Israel. I use Yasharel.
Listen, we speak English. Me and you are speaking
Yeah,
English,
so I use
right? So
Yasharel.
and if
There was
we're
the-
not,
first of all, there
we're-
was-
let's sis.
Yeah.
So what happened is your spirit is very argumentative. I'm being calm with you.
I'm arguing because I'm saying something to you. That is argument.
We're speaking English right now,
Yeah,
right?
we're speaking
okay.
English.
So when I say Israel, I'm speaking to edify more than just you.
Okay.
You might know the name is Yasharallah, or you might say Yahweh Shai,
Right.
but 99% of our brothers and
that's
sisters
true,
out
but-
here don't know
but
that.
I was
So,
speaking
then,
to
so
you
we
from
don't.
me.
So we're not. But I'm
From
not
me
gonna.
to you,
hold
because
up.
you know
but
what I'm
but
saying.
I am not just teaching you. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to go back and forth over words when I know most of our people don't know these terms.
Okay.
So we're speaking English. Read that.
Deuteronomy 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So what does the Lord require of Israel or Yasharallah? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him,
Right.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul,
Read on.
to keep the commandments of the Lord
To keep the commandments of the Lord. Read.
and his statutes,
Right.
which I commanded thee this day for thy good.
So guess what? The dress code that the Lord gave us is for our good.
Right.
So
But
what all my
what am I
brothers,
having
so
on? That
listen.
is- I'm
So all
trying
my
to
brother was
understand.
trying to explain to you is that guess what? Pants were not made for women.
But I don't have on a pants.
What
I
you
don't
have on,
a
what you
pants.
have on, are what you call breeches.
But it's
Or
protective
tights.
measures. It's
But-
protective measures.
Right, but
for
they
a
go
woman
up,
in
but they
this
go,
time.
yes, they go under your dress.
Right.
But that's not a dress that you have on.
It
That's
is
all
a
he was
dress.
trying
It
to
is,
point
but
out.
it says this is a dress, but because it's a shorter dress, I'm trying to protect myself, not to have myself out. Right.
But that's not a dress that you have on.
It
That's
is
all
a
he was
dress.
trying
It
to
is,
point
but
out.
it says this is a dress, but because it's a shorter dress, I'm trying to protect myself, not to have myself out. So I wear this as
so
my
give me
protective
1
measure.
Timothy 2 and 9 then.
Well,
All right,
I
give me
don't
1
wear
Timothy 2 and 9.
pants. I don't have a pair of
So-
pants in my house.
You can wear those under the
Under
dress
my
of the
dress.
skirt.
Under my skirt.
Now, what you wearing on as far as the skirt is kind of short.
But those clothes that I have, because it is a dress. As you
The
see,
book
go
of
all
1
the way, it
Timothy
is a
chapter
dress.
2, verse 9.
So I choose
In like manner also, that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
And
So
this
we
is
want to make
modest
sure we
apparel.
adorn ourselves in modest apparel.
And this is modest apparel.
So my suggestion to you, sis, would just try to get something that hits the knee. Because what the confusion is, what my brother saw, is this comes right just below your waist.
No, it
And
don't.
yes, it does.
This
We're
is all
looking
the
at it
way
right
down.
here. It doesn't
This is
touch
down
your knee.
there.
So read that again.
Bring it out.
Verse 9. In like manner also,
This is
that
modest
women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So you know that's on the law. Modest
I
apparel.
don't walk around
So-
naked. This is modest
So
apparel.
no, we understand, sis. So all he's trying to do is teach you that what we see
But you
here,
can't teach
we
me
gotta
because I
make
already
sure
know these
we gotta make sure that we are dressing in modest apparel, both the men and the women. Because
Which
if we
title?
were up here wearing dresses and skirts on, you would say, hey, I can't take these guys seriously. They're cross-dressing. That's the same way that the Lord looks at our sisters when they don't dress appropriately.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I am
So that's-
appropriate.
so
I
that's
am
what we're saying.
Because I don't have not one body part hanging
Got
out
you. Read
except for
that.
my face.
Keep reading.
First
So I am
Timothy chapter
appropriate.
2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness
Right.
and sobriety,
Right.
not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array.
Okay,
Let
all praise.
me ask you a question.
So hold on, my brother, hold on real quick. I'm sorry, what's your name, bro? Ace? All right, I'm John Leo. This sister name is Fire, I'm John Leo. Do you know who you are according to the Bible? What would you say your nationality is? If somebody would ask you.
I would just say I'm American.
American? Okay, now let me ask you, how can you be American when that was named after a white man?
I wouldn't know.
His name was Amerigo's Vespucci, right? Do you descend from a white man?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so we know that this land had people here before the Europeans arrived, right? All right, so now you got to start to ask yourself, okay, so what does that really mean? Right? So we got to understand, my brother, that the names that they call us here are not what God calls us. God calls you Judah. He calls you Benjamin. He calls you Levi. We make up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
So how did a lot of our people get here to what we call America? How did our people get here to this land? You don't know? You don't have any clue?
I wasn't here. I wouldn't know.
No.
Yes.
History. You ever read any of his history books? How would our people get here? Did we just pop out of the sky? What happened to allow people to be standing here today?
Some of us was already here though.
Right, I know, we understand that. Some of us was here and some of us traveled. You ever heard of slavery? Or they never taught you that in school? Okay, so you see this right here? There are plantations here in America, in the South, in places like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, so on and so forth, where people had to work sun up to sundown, women, men in the cotton fields for free. That happened to a lot of our forefathers and foremothers. But did you know that that's recorded in the Bible? There's a prophecy that happened thousands of years before this event took place. So we're going to show you. You can put that down off. Deuteronomy 1:1. So we're going to show you, because what we're here to do is we're here to teach our brothers and sisters that are lost, who don't know who they are.
But one of the biggest
So our
problems
brothers and sisters that don't know who they are already, we got to teach them that. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1.
So this is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1, my brother, because right now you don't know who you are. You think you're American. So we're going to show you who you are according to the Bible. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So it said, these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. So that's the subject matter. You ever heard the story of Moses with the children of Israel? Where he said, let my people. Okay, so you never went to church, none of that. You ain't had none of that history. Okay. So our people, the Hebrews, were captive in the land of Egypt. Egypt is on the continent of Africa. They had pharaohs or kings that held our people and had us in slavery. And so this is the children of Israel in the land of Egypt as we escaped that slavery that God had us under. So read that one more time.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So Moses spoke these words unto all Israel. That's the subject matter. Now get 28. Now he said that there were certain things that were going to happen to the children of Israel if they didn't keep God's commandments. We're going to show you that and see if it matches up with our people today. Read.
Which one?
28, 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Now it shall come to pass. Now the book of Deuteronomy was written thousands of years ago. But Moses said this is a prophecy. It shall come to pass, meaning that it will happen. Future prophecy, read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
That if you will not hearken or listen to the voice of the Lord, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So if we don't listen and observe to do all of God's commandments, read.
That all these curses.
These what?
These curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Let me ask you, my brother, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? Bad, exactly. Because a curse is an opposite of a blessing. So all these curses were going to come upon the children of Israel if they did not keep God's commandments. So we're going to go through just a few of the curses and see if it matches up with us, so-called blacks and Hispanics, or the people over who claim to be the Jew today in Israel. Read.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So God said, cursed shalt thou be in the city. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And cursed shall you be in the field. So the cities, actually, let's just take this city. We got Cleveland, right? You got Cleveland, you got Detroit, Cincinnati, Columbus. If you say, take me to the ghetto, take me to the barrio, take me to the hood, quote unquote, what people are going to be living here? Predominantly. Mostly. What do you mean you guess? You go to Morris Black here in Cleveland, 99% of the population there is who? Exactly. So that's called being cursed in the city. This was prophesied to happen to the children of Israel. The Bible is starting to describe who we are. Keep reading.
Cursed shall thou be. Excuse me. Cursed shall thy basket and thy...
Repeat the city.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Right.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And in the field. What we just showed you, in the field, cotton field, sugarcane field, tobacco field, rice field, this all happened to our people. This happened in America, this happened on the island of Jamaica, this happened in Haiti, this happened in Brazil, this happened in West Africa, this happened to our people. Anywhere you find us, these curses happen to our people in the field. Right. That was a prophecy that happened to the children of Israel. Go to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So God said your sons and your daughters are going to be given into another people. So when these things happen, our brothers and sisters were sold on auction blocks to the so-called white man. We were given to another people. Read on.
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And our eyes shall look and fail with longing for them because what? We didn't have any power or any might to get our people out of that condition. Right. This was a prophecy that happened to the children of Israel. Keep reading.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
And there shall be no might in their hand. Because let me ask you, do we have a army? So-called African Americans, do they have their own army? Do we have our own military? No, we don't. So that not having that might in their hand, Moses prophesied that, hey, you children, if you don't follow God's laws and commandments, these things are going to happen to you. Jump to verse 68.
So what about one most important law when he speak about sodomy and oral sex and all of that that is plagued in America?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Lord is going to bring thee into Egypt again. Egypt, we just talked about the children of Israel were in the land of Egypt, right? Just like we served slavery here in America, we served slavery during Moses' time under Egypt, under the Pharaohs. But that word Egypt means something. Exodus 20 verse 2.
Can you do
Exodus 20 verse 2.
Can you do
My sister, you said you already know you Israel. You already.
No, but I'm saying the laws.
Sister, listen. I need you to be quiet and listen.
No,
you
but
said you already. You said
yes,
you already
I
know you Israel.
Yes, I know.
You said you already know you need to keep the commandments.
Yes.
So obviously this brother doesn't know. So you can just sit back and
But what
let us
about the
teach.
other laws?
Read them.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Can't teach laws to someone who doesn't even know their nationality. He just said he thought he was American. We have to set a foundation first.
But what about the
We
sexual
are the
perversion?
professionals here, sister.
God is angry
So
about the
if
sexual
you want to
perversion.
teach, you go find a corner and teach somebody
I'm
yourself.
asking you a question.
And I'm talking to this brother. Read.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So you see that? He said, I'm the Lord that brought you out of the land of Egypt. Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with what? Bondage. What's another word for bondage? What's another word for bondage?
Oral sex is abomination.
Slavery? Right. So I am the Lord thy God. Read that again.
I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
I'm the Lord thy God that brought you out of the land of Egypt. Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with bondage or slavery. All right, so now we understand what that word Egypt means. So go back to Deuteronomy 28:68. Because we got a sister here that she's talking about oral sex. Did we mention anything about oral sex? Not at all. So what does that have to do with that? So read that again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee out. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he said, the Lord is going to bring you into Egypt, which is bondage or slavery again, but what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
So the Lord is going to bring you into bondage or slavery with ships. That happened to us. See that? That happened to us here in America. That we would be brought into slavery or bondage with ships. Because you notice on the back of your dollar bill, you have a, you notice that you got Egyptian pyramids. So you got to ask yourself, why are we in Egypt? Why are we in America and we have Egyptian symbols on our side? Because what? Those people in power, they understand that they have the children of Israel. Listen, bro, hey, bro, don't worry about it. Hey, the people, they understand that we have the children of Israel in bondage and slavery. That's why they put those Egyptian symbols on the back of the dollar bill. So read that again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's going to bring you into Egypt, but slavery again. Read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So just the way he said it was going to happen to us, that's how our people got over here. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And guess what? We haven't seen our homeland since, because this is not the birth of our nativity. This is not the place where we were born at.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is